What's up, everybody? This is Grand Like Gazette, where we talk about One Piece damn near every damn day. That's Kev. I'm Corey. Chapter 1146. Nope, 47, right? Just dropped.
Yep.
We're going to talk about it. Big chapter. A lot happened.
Oh yeah.
Probably going to be talking about all week because there's a lot of stuff to like speculate from.
Oh yeah.
But as always, we're going to get right into it. Kev, help us talk about the cover story.
Yeah. Yeah. So, chapter 1147, the things we find scary. So the cover story, the Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 32. Raizo, the daimyo of Udon, expresses his gratitude. So, this begs the question: was Raizo not capable of doing this on his own? That may be possible, but we see Yamato and Tama getting fed after being captured by Who's Who. We see a Who's Who mask being kind of thrown off somebody's head in the background. Maybe that's his, maybe that's a subordinate.
Yeah, I
But
noticed that.
I mean, I like it. I don't know what's gonna happen next. I feel like this is a good time to like leave the cover story. This may actually be the final chapter. Actually, they usually would say the last volume though, huh?
Yeah, we
So
probably got
maybe
a
I'm
couple
wrong,
more, so. But that being
but
said, we're definitely in the end of the arc. It's
close. Yeah.
32.
Yeah.
Some of we have a cover story series. Some of them get to the 50s, but I don't think this one will. Maybe, but who knows? But
Maybe.
Raizo, yeah, he's the daimyo, so he's in charge. Um, he probably could have found this out. Who knows if he would have beat Who's Who as easily as
Yeah.
Yamato did at that?
Yeah.
But he probably just couldn't go looking because he's the boss. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, give me the info, but the info's not getting to him, and I guess
True.
in straw hat fashion, Yamato just kind of stumbled onto it and just solved the problem herself. So, I mean, that's
Which
cool.
which for Yamato is awesome because you are, don't get me wrong, you are not your father with Kaido, but a lot of people will still see you as the son of the ex-ruler who was a jackass. So this goes a long way with maybe repairing or building trust with the community. So I do think this is awesome for Yamato.
Also, because
Back on,
of
oh, go ahead.
Orochi, that whole
Oh,
thing
yes.
was you were always getting get back against the last ruler. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So this also stops the cycle.
Which, yeah, especially if Momo like openly forgives Yamato in public and stuff like that. I think that, like you said, it'd be big for them to like kind of lose that negative cycle that they've had for
That
generations.
circle of hate. Shout out to Naruto.
Yeah. Uh, but we're back on Elbath. So 1147. We ended with Saul facing off against Summers, and here he's asking Robin and Chopper to hide in his mane, I guess, in his hair. And we Saul says something like, "Hey, I've actually seen this God's Knight before, and they're actually immortal. So don't even try to step to him. Let me go ahead and take on all the beatings."
So these God's Knights had to be at God Valley. This had to be a
Hmm.
well-known thing. Like are too many older people that know what these God's Knights are just off rip. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
one glance, yeah. Oh no, I know what this is. It's just kind of
And
crazy.
it could be as simple as, I know this power. I've seen this. I've seen the aftermath. My dad was hung up by vines and died, or some, we'll have some horrific backstory where Summers is the reason that Saul like lost his parents or something gross.
See, I think it's just
And
the armor they're wearing, like the logo and
oh,
the.
okay.
They look like what's his name, Bison from Street Fighter. You know what I mean? Like they wear like
Mm,
hats and armor that kind of looks like Russian. You know what I mean?
I maybe I guess I wasn't looking too deep into that because they all seem to have like maybe a different unique style of outfit. So maybe they have like a singular like symbol on their body, like a shinobi headband, but it could be on their leg or their arm or something like that. Like we've seen
Or
that before.
to the last thing for that point is just like it could just be the black military jacket. Like
Yeah.
they're like, hey, black military jacket. That's a God's night.
That's
It
a
could
god.
just be
Stay clear.
simple.
Stay clear. Um, and so Saul gets his ass whooped here, and he's kind of thrown in the towel. Robin is just staying quiet for now. But we see how close the Gods Knights are to each other here, with Gunko and Summers basically being within earshot of each other. Gunko handed the Straw Hat crew and the Call-In Pirates really their ass. But we notice here that she does recognize our musician on the Straw Hat crew as well.
Before that, she's getting reprimanded by both of her coworkers
Oh,
for
right.
going for the Straw Hats because they're like, "Hey, come on, man, we ain't here to like get Luffy mad. Like that's a Yonko at the end of the day. We ain't here for all that. We're just here to kid a couple kids and maybe a
Yeah.
nation of giants. It's supposed to be easy."
We're supposed to just go pick up milk and then go home. I I want to take a second.
Nami,
Nami
I knew it. Nami
wildin'
straight
here,
up.
dog.
No, I knew
Nami
it. I knew it.
wildin'
I
here.
knew it. I knew it, bro. Nami straight up blamed Jinbei with the quickness. Like, bro, what?
Yeah. Which,
That's
don't get me
strange.
wrong, if you're in this group and you are Jinbei, you do need to know, like, be aware of your surroundings. Like, hey, these guys are gonna rely on me. And so Nami's like, how could you let this happen, Jinbei? I was surprised here that she didn't be like, Sanji wouldn't have let this happen or some shit like that. Like that would have been kind of crazy. But Jinbei's like, hey, shut up. I'm trying to work out a plan here. Shut your mouth. All right. I'm trying to figure this out. But then, like you said, Gunko singles Brook out here, starts beating his ass, and then basically says, "Your life will be devoted to making music for me only, only me."
And I think this is you've been saying that Gunko may be a clone.
Mm-hmm.
May have some kind of like dirty work, you know what I mean, going into her appearance being what it is now.
Yeah.
And it seems like Brooke recognizes her to the
Oh,
point
yeah.
where it's like, I don't think you recognize her from one of your concerts. I think you recognize her from before you died. You know what I mean? I think she was a super fan of like the I forget what their name, Lombard Pirates or whatever their name were. Rumbar Pirates.
Sure.
And I don't know. There's something there.
Well, I mean, right here on right after the Jinbei's like, "Hey, relax. I'm trying to think of it." He has a weird quote. That woman. No, it couldn't be.
Yeah.
What woman? What woman, Brooke? Like you said, is that the Rumbar Pirates? I mean, Brooke has been connected to people like Roger.
And
Don't like
it's got to be
he's-
something distressful, like something that's got him distracted because he doesn't even mention her panties when she stands up.
No, no.
Also,
Hey,
it does
good-
look like the
good point.
signature weapon of a God's Knight as well. They all have the same weapon. Is like a fencing epee. You know what I mean? That sword, that just pokey sword. You know what I mean? So
Oh, okay.
it seems
I
all
mean,
three
both
of
of
them
them-
have it. Yeah, she
Well,
has it right now.
The other one has a staff.
Who has a staff?
The spear, killing him.
That's true, and he has the
He has, like, a
three-pronged one. Yeah, the trident.
Yeah.
But she has one. Summers has one, which he uses the briar fruit on, and then
Mm-hmm.
Shamrock has one, which he fed the Cerberus fruit.
Yeah.
That being said, back to Gunko, basically telling Brooke, and just like this is where I'm kind of like, she's got Billy and Mandy vibes, because she just goes to Brooke, the skeleton, is like, "You work for me now." You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, Mandy, like okay. But
And then
he
like
denies
Jinbei's
it.
like, "That's one hell of a groupie."
Yes. Jinbei's like, "Hey, I don't know. You might want to take her up on that offer." But
Hey.
yeah, obviously he denies it, so she kicks him away. So there's must be for some kind of reason like where she separates Brooke from the others, or this has to mean something. This interaction.
I agree. I mean, right here, he, like you said, no mention of panties, which is basically the only word Brooke really knows. And so when he's just like, no, I'm actually a Straw Hat Pirate, and even if that means dying again, I will die happily. And like you said, it may be strategic to get him away, explain to him really quick, like a little like, hey, like I'm a double spy or some shit, and then take him back. But
we
what
we
do I
are
know?
also seeing as we move on like to Summers, like getting ready for the announcement of
Announcement.
Killing
Mm-hmm.
Cam. For multiple weeks, it's been spelled with a Q now, so I guess it is Killing Cam with a Q. So I think that
Yep.
is something just important to distinct, whether that goes into like theories or lore or something like that, or maybe it'll pop up later. But I just want to make a note of that.
Oh, that's a good point. And I wonder if there's, and because we have Zolo where an R is sounded like an L, I wonder if that's something like here where you have a Kirin, Kirin, and then you have a Killin, Quilin, which is,
That'll be
I don't know.
interesting.
Yeah, that it would be. But like you said, Summers is making an announcement, which, Jesus, Oda, we just had a story with a long announcement. So I hope we don't have 20 chapters where we have to go back and read Summer's full announcement. And he basically like, hey, Warriors of Elbath, you have no doubt but seen that we are raising havoc on your country, and we're here to take your kids. Which
And
I
I
don't know
guess
if
it's
that's
no
supposed to
secret
be
now, but we're here to
good.
kidnap your kids if you didn't know.
Like what? Okay, great. Thanks for
Bold.
telling me, I guess. But we do start to travel around Elbath. We go to the Artisan Village, the southeast region in the Sun Realm, the Hunter Village, northwest region. And it is interesting. I wonder if they have. Is this where the hunters go? Is this where the artists go? Is this where we have the warrior village here in the West Village, I think? So is this where the warriors are? I do notice that in the Hunter Village in the Northwest, we do have a similar headdress to
Garp.
somebody like to Garp, exactly. So we may see some inspiration from Skypean villages amongst Elbath, which we've been speculating for quite some time now. So I wonder if we're going to get something like that.
That'd be interesting. But it is a bold take for what Killing Cam is doing right now, exposing himself and everybody else to their plan, and that's how confident they are. They, excuse me, did call it a game, and
Mm-hmm.
this shows how much of a game it is to them because they're like, if you guys want to get serious, we can get serious at any point. If you guys want to start throwing down. But he's basically like, hey man, so this guy with the fucking big red beard, he didn't really last too long. Kind of sucks. He was one of those last two O'Hara people, right? Well, shit. Uh, so he's like, well, I guess you guys should not have left the kids with him because you guys thought he would save them, but he's not. We captured the kids. We captured a lot of them. And right now, I wish I had a video, but we're gonna list you guys the names so you know which kids that we have. Killing Cam's there. He also has one of the snails like activated so they can hear what he's saying
Mm-hmm.
as well. Ange is in the room, hostage by Killing Cam. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah, so he basically tells Ange like, "Hey, go ahead and tell everyone, announce,
yeah, get the names
call the
together.
class roll, who's all in line for recess." And this is kind of where we jump over to the kids, but they're awake now. I don't know if that's a huge difference, and I don't know what woke them up, but they're all awake, but they're not able to control their bodies, so they're just constantly walking forward.
So maybe it's an exposure thing to the arrow too, where it's like, okay, since you guys have been following this arrow for like the last 5 minutes, like you got to keep following
Mm.
the arrow. Like once your body does the movement, like locks into the movement, it's stuck doing the thing. I do think you need to be asleep for him to initially start it up with the least amount of resistance. Like I think he
Oh,
can
that's
do
fair.
this to
Yeah,
people, but like have the kids be asleep. You don't have them like wrestling around, running around,
yeah.
crying. But they're crying now.
and and your his nightmare abilities may be even more powerful, like if they're asleep, as like the nightmares may be stronger.
That's true.
um But like you said, Colin's awake with everyone. Colin calls them all weaklings, though. I don't know what his problem is, but he's like, no, I'm a warrior. You guys are nothing, but don't worry, I'm here to protect you. But then we get a
Yeah,
ghost and a
yeah.
monster off to the
He's a
left.
kid too. They're like, oh, I want to go home. Where's my parents? He's like, you can't see him. We've been kidnapped.
Like, okay, bro, relax.
Like, don't worry, I'm a warrior. And that's when the monsters show up, and they're like, what the hell?
And then we leave them. We're stuck on a cliffhanger with them. We don't know if the kids are gonna die to the nightmares or if Colin's gonna fight back. But we jump over to the this is called the Great Erickson, right? The Leaf Erickson,
Yeah.
the great ship of the giants. And the nightmares are attacking this place as well, but not just any nightmares. It's the giant warrior pirates' mothers. They have now come back to life, and this is everyone's worst nightmare. Their mom to be mad at them.
Yeah, and I guess more nightmares are popping up as this is going on. So, like, more nightmares are happening. So it's like, my favorite one is this guy with the black helmet where he's like, kind of looks like my missus. I was like, that one over there looks like my wife. Like, wait a minute, wait a minute.
You're in for an ass whooping if that's true. Oh wait, there. And so we start getting some, long sought after apologies here. I'm not sure who, but I'm sorry for always going out drinking, Mom. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I should have taken out the trash. Forgive me, I shouldn't have eaten all of that food. Like,
So I wonder if
just
that's just like a funny Oda thing, or if that's like you're under the influence of the nightmare. You know what I mean?
oh, true. Like, oh, I like that. How they're kind of like hypnotized into like believing the nightmare
Yeah.
is he like
Well,
strong.
yeah, you're like lost in it. Then we
Yeah.
go back to Summers. He's still kind of like announcing everything, but this part I like. He's on his thorn like vine, but it's
Hmm.
autonomous. It's got like teeth and eyes, so it looks like it can act independently. Um, Not unlike Shamrock Cerberus, but it is not specifically from his weapon, so it's got to have some different capabilities and easier to break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's announcing all this while he watches the giant warrior pirate ship go down. And he's just kind of laughing. He's like, all right, and there go your fucking warriors. So,
Yeah. Which then, I mean, I guess his idea is let me go ahead and kill off like some of the more important pieces on this in this country, and then he addresses specifically the legendary warrior Mountain Beard Yari, and he's like, hey, everyone else is gone, so you're actually the elder of this country. I'm gonna go ahead and ask you to speak on behalf of everyone here. um like, what are you're gonna go ahead and make the decisions from here on out.
yeah,
And
and
he's
he's like,
worried because he's like, Dorian
it's
brought
not
me
really
here.
your decision. All you really got to do is say, okay, either you guys serve us as battle thralls forever, where you guys just destroy what we want and work for us, no questions asked. Or we'll see how valuable these kids are. We're gonna start killing them one by one until you guys comply. And if you guys don't, then I guess we'll just fight. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day. But then we get a map, which every arc you need a map.
Oh yeah.
This arc makes so much more sense. It's literally just one branch 18. You know?
Which is nice because like it's hard. It is hard, especially when it's not even a TV show episode yet. It's hard to wrap your head around where people are at a given time, where they're coming from, things like that. So I do like it when Oda does this. But we have a lot of people in play here just on this small branch, and this isn't even all the Straw Hats. Like, we're not even talking about the underworld right now.
I was
So
gonna
this is
talk
just
about
the
that. They are
yeah. Go ahead.
they are gonna be here within a chapter. They will be
Yeah, I
here
think
next
next
chapter.
chapter.
There is no way an announcement like this went off and they are not showing up next chapter.
Yeah, and I guess I'm even more in line with that because we didn't see them a single piece in this chapter. So I think you're spot on with that. Like, yeah. So we go back to Ange and Killingham. She's about to start listing off all the names for everyone that was in class. I have the names of the kidnapped children. The first one is Ilvia, and then Yarrow's like, "Oh no, my great great granddaughter, no!"
Yeah, so it's like,
And
all
so we can,
right, now he's listening.
yeah. So now we can start speculating though on whose kids who is the parent of which child. So we have Scotty,
Who also has
uh,
horns.
who also has horns.
And he looks
Olaf, who
very
has like a horned
determined, and it's like
helmet,
their personalities, and they gotta be, these gotta mean something. Like he's very
mm-hmm.
determined. Olaf is crying.
And then that's o- Omi
Oimo.
Oimo's grandson. So I mean, we're gonna see an Olaf, like Olaf has a father here somewhere, or a child, a parent of some sort. Colleen,
Which
who
I think,
maybe a go
yeah,
ahead,
like I
go ahead.
think Colleen having an elongated nose. Like I'm fully into the long arm, long leg, long neck, all that tribe. Like I think there is a long nose tribe. I think that is a, but I think that was a more acceptable feature, so they didn't like disregard people as a clan. But I'm right there for it. Like it connections for Usopp. That means a lot for him. That means a lot for Yasop. I hope that is a thing.
I mean, I'll say it here. This is Usopp's half sister, and he's gonna. Yasop finally stuck around
So
for one of
yeah,
the
your
children, and
dad
it
was
wasn't
also
him.
here with me for a while. We both lived here for like 15 years with our wives.
Wait, you knew Dad? It's like, yeah, he was around here for everything.
He
My
left for
first
like two
steps,
years once.
the first time I shot my first sling, my hit a target. We get a weird name, Mug. I don't.
No, but he
Does
seems
he look like
very.
anybody to you?
No, but he looks like he would have been on like Kaido's crew. He's wearing clothes like that, so I'm very interested to
Oh,
see. Now this
Kaido.
Roina, the next girl, that's I'm
Mhm,
like, you're getting like mermaid girl vibes from like Ennie's
mhm,
lobby. I'm like,
mhm.
there's something with you, freak.
But that, but we do see like her dad in the very
Oh,
next
that's true.
photo. Like, but I mean, we don't know the mom. The mom could be a half mermaid,
Well,
whatever.
even
You
then,
know,
like,
it's right there.
even if it isn't mermaid, it's like you have the same vibe, so you're gonna probably
Yeah.
be the same. Where it's like you kind of last until the end game, and you're around like Luffy and stuff like that. But it's like
Mhm.
I feel like she's gonna be important. Like she's gonna stay a hostage or something. I don't know.
Yep.
Or she'll
And
be the one
we
that
meet.
helps Colin the most.
Ooh.
Because she's like everything will work out. She's the only positive one. Like she'll probably be the first one to help Colin.
She reminds me of like the Usopp-ish like character.
Yeah, I can see it.
Then we meet Bent. Bent was referred earlier in the chapter.
His mom.
His dad. Oh yeah, his mom was brought back to life, or
His mom is
brought
one of
back
the
as a nightmare.
yeah. I don't know if
So
she's
his dad
dead,
is out
but
there.
she's definitely a
Oh,
nightmare. You
right.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Mom's gonna be so mad. Johanna, which Corey had a great theory for, like an early theory on who Johanna's
Yeah,
dad might be.
I think we're probably gonna see a lot of videos this week about it, but Joanna, like, she has darkened horns. So
Mhm.
that's ancient dragon horns. She looks like she's around Colin's age, so she's about 20. That would line up to be a child of Loki. And if Loki isn't a bad person, he could definitely have gone that like Ace route where he's like, I don't want anybody to know this is my daughter. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I feel
And
like we'll
she
see a
does
lot
make
of
a
these theories, but I would like to make a theory video eventually.
and she does make a statement here which kind of backs up your theory. At least you have parents. So she's an orphan.
Yeah.
So whether that be she has very similar horns to people we've seen in Wano, she could be another Kaido, offspring. Very similar horns to Yamato, but I think we've already seen that quite a bit. I do like the Loki theory quite a bit more. Bjorn. Bjorn has some like historic link to that name as far as it being a very popular name. But Bjorn the Brave came up with Corey, so he seemed a little scared right now, but I think that's a perfect character arc for somebody turning into Bjorn the Brave, is to be scared at first
I
and
know.
overcome it.
I think Bjorn is also like, I'm thinking of in my head Bjorn. Bjorn, is that Brian? But like,
Probably.
is that what
Who
that's supposed to
knows?
be?
Who
But
knows? So that's the
also
roll call.
I
That's all
think
10.
he's gonna sell them all out. He's gonna be the one to sell them all out because
Oh,
he's like, just save
damn.
me at least. So if there's anybody that's a
Damn.
traitor, it's Bjorn, the bastard.
Bjorn the Bastard. So it's those 9 plus Colin. So that's all 10. But that's what perks up everyone else's ears because Ripley's like, oh, you have my son. Okay, now we're about to start causing some fucking problems. And so so you hear that, Ripley? Our
Scopper,
boy
yeah,
sure is
Scopper was like, yeah,
coming.
but he called him a warrior, right? You heard that, right?
Yeah. But like this makes, I guess this makes Yasan like super excited, like you said, but also excited for the future battle because he in the very next like page, he is super smiles. Like he's like, yes, I finally get to, hurt some people. So we go back to the announcement. Summers is like, the Warriors have no need for schools. You don't need a library. It's pointless. You are here to swing the sword on behalf of my government. That is all you're good for. So we're gonna actually start killing off kids one by one until you do as we say.
Pretty much, but like
That's great.
even like more to like the burning the library, he's like, and your history is pointless too. So these are, to put that in perspective, this is history past all of the resets that they have here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if I mean, I've made that analogy a couple of times with like America and stuff like that, but it's like, if you erase things, it doesn't take long for people to forget. If you just
Yeah.
cover things up or rename things, it won't take long for people to forget. So getting rid of like one of these things is like getting rid of the last inkling people would have to like letting everybody know, like, you get rid of this, Vegapunk's message means nothing. There's no
Yeah.
proof, there's no evidence, there's nothing to show anything. It's just you guys gotta wait and see when it'll happen.
and and if you're so that's the thing is because a lot of people they don't like let's take the ocean level for example in here. If you don't keep track of the ocean level, you don't know if it's raised or not. So you can go back, 200, 300 years and show like, hey, it's actually gone up by like 50 meters. If this continues, it's going to be a problem. And if you have none of that backlog, you won't know where to start. So you won't be able to tell if Lucia was blown to smithereens, and you can't really tell that either. Lucia, I've never heard of that kingdom. It was never was a kingdom.
Yeah, exactly.
You just
Like,
erase it.
and it's like, if there's no books that ever mention Lelucia, no people that talk about Lelucia, then there was no Lelucia. It's only here as
Exactly.
long as the memory is.
Exactly.
But yeah, wait, do we have any? What was the last page? I think we had.
Last page is, well, he's like, hey Jarl, this is your choice.
And Jarl's
You
like,
let us know
mine.
what you want to do. Mine.
Bro, Jarl is gonna pick like, hey man, like, fuck them kids. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like that's where the switch is gonna be, where Jarl is like, no, fuck them kids. This is, or oh damn,
Well,
yo,
I mean, it's his great granddaughter as well. Like
but
great granddaughter's there.
yeah, that's true. That's true. He's gonna, bro. We're gonna get some kind of flashback where Jarl is talking to Harold, and Harold's telling him his plan to never have them be warriors for the government. And now
Yeah.
Jarl's gonna say, "Yeah, we're gonna fight for you," kind of thing. Like, bro, I swear to God, what if they are like, "Okay, now kick the straw hats off your island," and he's like, "Bro, I'm sorry, you gotta go." Yo,
Yeah.
that would be wild if he
And so
accepts this.
the the final page here, you get Ange who's going in on Summers. Like, you can't destroy the school. That's a symbol of Elbaf's peace. It's not just Elbaf's. It doesn't just belong to them. Like, this is has secrets of the world and the scholars of Ohara. But Summers just like, you have such a big mouth. Like, shut up. Like, I don't care about your stupid library. I don't give a shit. And
Yeah.
Robin,
He's like, hey, I'm
she ain't
talking.
about
Hey, grown men are talking here, lady. Dude.
which
That's like,
don't get me wrong. Ange is a traitor. Ange is only here to secure the knowledge. She doesn't care about the country at all. But Robin's not just gonna let O'Hara's sacrifice
there,
become
there are two people
Elbaf's
that like history.
sacrifice.
Like Scopper and Robin. They're like, you ain't burning down shit over here.
Oh, yeah. I guess I didn't put Scopper in that category. I think Scopper's only here to protect Colin.
That
I
makes
don't.
sense.
Maybe I'm wrong.
That's
Maybe I'm wrong.
very true. But I think a little bit of both.
You could be a little bit of
But
both.
I think it's mainly
A
Colin. I
lot
think
more
it's
in one.
probably A. I think it's A, right?
It's
but
definitely B, but mostly A.
but Robin has
But
ringed eyes. Robin is also about to take her stand. Once they say they're about to burn shit down, she said, "I ain't." We've had a lot of almost O'Haras, but
yeah,
I'll be damned if I have an almost O'Hara here.
and this they haven't even called it. Like, what is this? This isn't a Buster call.
This is a
Is
straight.
this some? Is this going to be more?
This
Is
is just
this
a
like?
straight burning. They don't call this nothing.
Yeah,
This just called infiltration and burning the shit up.
yeah. So you get
They
Yasan,
just call this
who
mission accomplished.
is quick as hell here.
That's true.
We can't. He did hold off Zoro and Gear 5 Luffy for a time. I'm not saying he could have beat them.
Yeah,
This is a man who's capable
he is very
of
quick.
protecting. Yeah, and
This
he's
is
like
that
strong.
Sanji running away to go protect
Hmm.
somebody. I bet you there's gonna be little clouds and shit,
Yeah, and he has the axe, and like you said, Robin's standing up right next to him. I think we're about to see some duos here.
bro.
Does Robin immediately go demon mode? I think you don't think so. I think.
Nah,
Oh,
nah.
the double iris, the double eyes, though. I feel like that has to be like a demon mode thing for her.
Well, she ain't going giant spider. She might do
Mm,
something. I think because she always got a new move every time we see her. So
we
I
do.
think
We
she's
do.
gonna do something, but I don't think she's gonna go giant spider yet.
Yeah, and like right here, it's hard. Is Summers leaving Saul? Does he deem Saul as defeated and he can just leave now? Is Robin like about to catch up to him? I guess that part is unclear to me. But I
The
mean,
thing about the Gods Knights is that they've killed so many. It's like they've killed so many people that it's to the point where it's like, no, I don't care if you live or die. Like if you're in my way, I'll kill you, and I'll kill you if I think it's fun really quick. But it's like if you're
yeah,
sitting there and I think you're bleeding out, I'm not just gonna go stab you if I got other shit to do. Like bye, have fun,
yeah.
go
So
bleed out.
if I'm still supposed to use the diagram and Yasan like jumped up near Ripley, which I believe is kind of how we're supposed to expect this. He's about to be right next to Robin, and they're about to back fight Gunko and Summers. Maybe
Yeah,
that's gonna be a killer fight next chapter.
yeah, that is that is definitely the surprising duo as it says. So, I'll be very interested to see what happens there. Um, Ange is still in the school though, so we got to see what's going to happen because somebody's going to have to confront Killingham. So
And the only people there are Ange and the principal with Killingham.
yeah, so maybe Frankie makes a beeline back
And
to the school
since
because he
Ange is
doesn't
the
know.
traitor, Kiba's gonna have to Principal Kiba's gonna have to kind of step up here because Ange ain't doing shit but making roll
Akiba's
call,
already knocked out and fucked up from last.
taking attendance.
Yeah,
She's like, "Oh, here, oh, Colin's here." Like, all right, Ange, why don't you? Aren't
Akiba's
you a
already all
warrior
messed up
pirate or
from last
something?
episode. No, no, she was that was Akiba.
What are
She,
you talking about?
you said wasn't Ange a warrior pirate?
Yeah, yeah. But
No, that was
I thought you were
Kiba.
talking about making. I thought most of the teachers were
Oh, maybe she
because I know
was.
Ripley is.
Uh,
Because yeah, maybe
maybe
that
she was. She
makes sense.
doesn't give. She doesn't really give warrior to me. But Kiba's still fucked up from last chapter. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
Frankie's gonna show up, and maybe the dream stuff doesn't work on Frankie.
Rip Ripley and Ripley and Frankie maybe
I think
because
Ripley's gonna stay with Dory and Broggy and them, and
it's
Frankie.
possible.
I don't. Maybe Vegapunk stays because it's like that's the Giants, and you got the kid with you, Bonnie.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
I think Frankie goes back to the school because that's like he's like, all right, well, I guess I'll go check back to the last place we all were. And that's when he sees Killing Cam. But I don't know. Maybe Frankie's cyborgness will mean something here.
And we also have to keep in mind, like Loki, Luffy, that
That's
group
true.
is going to be involved next chapter as well, more than likely. Oda hasn't given me the final cut yet. I haven't given my go or no go on that chapter yet, so we'll see. Um, but they'll be bringing some heat as well. So I don't know. I don't know who's gonna fight who, but this has been a fire chapter.
Good chapter.
1147. Good chapter.
Let
But
us
I want to
know.
hear what you guys take away from this chapter is. What are your guys' favorite parts? What kid do you think will belong to which giant? I do like playing that game. Who's going to be whose kid in the long run? What are your thoughts, Corey?
Oh, that's kind of
The
it.
end
Let
of
us know
chapter.
your guys' thoughts on the chapter below. Let us know whose kid you think is whose, and we will be back next week for another chapter review. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.